Hello, we're back today for a little video that's part aviation, part history, in which we'll talk about a hot event at the end of the Cold War. This event was the Kortrijk Crash in Belgium, in which a USSR plane entered the airspace of several countries without authorization, then crashed in Belgium, killing one person on the ground and creating a diplomatic crisis between the USSR and NATO. On July 4, 1989, Soviet Air Force pilot Nicolai Skouridine took off from Kolobrzeg air base in Poland for a training flight. The aircraft is a MiG-23, a variable geometry wing fighter that entered service in the late 70s. It was a great export success, being used by some 20 countries, and some MiG-23s are still flying today. But let's return to our Soviet pilot, who, a few minutes after takeoff, experienced engine failure. The pilot then steered the plane towards the sea before ejecting, sending his MiG-23 crashing into an uninhabited area. After the pilot ejected, the engine restarted, and instead of crashing, the aircraft continued its flight as the autopilot was engaged. Unmanned, the MiG-23 continued its flight, leaving Polish airspace and returning to East then West Germany, putting the US Air Force on alert. The latter sent two F-15s to intercept the Soviet plane. Tension was high, as the USSR had not warned the governments of the countries overflown, and so neither the plane's intentions nor its weaponry were known. As the American F-15s approached the MiG-23, they noticed the absence of a pilot, but still no sign of the Soviet government. The plane continued its flight towards the Netherlands, still under escort. The escort did not obtain permission to shoot down the Soviet aircraft, as it was flying over heavily populated areas. After flying over the Netherlands, the MiG-23 entered Belgian airspace. It was over Belgium that the aircraft finally crashed into a house west of the town of Kortrijk, having consumed all its fuel. The accident killed one person on the ground and obviously had negative repercussions on relations between Belgium and the USSR. Although the late 80s were a period of glasnost, the Kortrijk accident cast a pall over East-West relations. The day after the crash, Mikhail Gorbachev, who was visiting Paris, offered his condolences and, I quote, "I regret it. The Belgians know it, they know the causes of the accident, and we have sent them our condolences. Incidents like this can happen, but it's best to avoid them." 2 days after the accident, on July 6, the Belgian government, via its Minister of Foreign Affairs, denounced the USSR's behavior. Belgium was particularly disturbed by the fact that between the moment the MiG-23 was spotted by NATO radars and the moment it crashed, more than an hour later, there was no sign of warning from the Soviet side. And that there was also a remarkable slowness on the part of the Soviets to indicate whether or not the aircraft was carrying nuclear or chemical weapons. A few days later, the USSR ambassador to Belgium announced that the Soviet Union would compensate Belgium for both material and moral damage. In total, the USSR paid $685,000 to Belgium. The accident was one of the last high-tension events of the Cold War between West and East, due to the lack of communication between the USSR and the countries overflown by the unmanned aircraft. In any case, if you liked this video, then don't hesitate to subscribe to the channel, and you can also follow me on X and Instagram. Once again, thank you to all the patrons who support my work, and see you soon for a new video.